Hi guys, welcome to my class on Google Classrooms. We're going to go over all the introductory things that you need to know on how to use this application, at least on a basic level. So today we're going to go over staff surveys. This will be one of 4 tutorials that we're going to do in the next month. The 4 areas that we're going to go over are adding a YouTube link. We're going to go over how to do a multiple choice, how to add a survey, and then a little bit on worksheet design and docs. So today I just want to give you guys a quick tip. Some of you, all of you have to use Google Chrome now, and we all have a Mac computer. So the first thing I want to go over is how to make sure that you have this Google icon or this Chrome icon in your dock system rather than on a desktop or have to look it up through Safari. I see a lot of people still select Safari and then bring up Google that way. The easiest way to do it is to push on this Finder and then write in applications. And then right below that, you'll see there'll be an applications folder that'll show up under Macintosh. That's just right here. Select that. And once you've selected it, just find the Google Chrome icon. Now, a lot of you pull this into your desktop. It does clutter up your desktop. The preferred way is to put it into the dock, and that's what a lot of you try. You try to put it into the dock, and it won't stay there. It is there now because I've dragged it in, but I'm going to show you how to use it. So a lot of you put it into your desktop again, and you select the icon on your desktop. Works perfectly fine if you want to leave it that way. But if you'd like a little cleaner desktop, just go down, put your cursor over the icon in the dock, and then select options. From there, you can save this to your dock. It makes it a little easier on those of you who use Chrome often, which you should be doing. Okay, so from here, let's go up to our apps. I call this the waffle, but this is really just our Google app list. So from here, I'm going to push Drive, and then I'm just going to take a look at all my folders and try to find a place where I could put a folder or I could put a form or a survey, and that's really important to organize first. I'm going to pick my teaching folder here. So let's get started with creating our survey. Let's push on New, and then from here, we're going to go all the way down to More, and then at the very top here, we're going to select Forms, and then I'm going to use a blank template or a blank form for this. So yeah, the first thing you're going to want to do is rename this folder. If you create your folder, or if you basically create the survey and you don't name it, it will disappear. So you want to make sure you name everything first. So this is a form example, and I'm just going to head it form example, and I'm going to start with my first question. I'm just going to make this random. So who likes ice cream? And I think this is cool because it'll actually give you a spell check. You can see here, I can just take a look at my spelling, which I do need to look at often. So who likes ice cream? I love ice cream. Now you can see here that I have a little drop-down menu. If I push this arrow, I want to stay away from multiple choice. That's more of a point value. You want to use check boxes for this. After I've used my check boxes, I'm going to create a couple more questions, like who likes hot dogs? Any series of things. I just wanted to show you that by pushing that plus button, you can create additional questions. But where people really get hung up on is how do I create a survey that collects information? So you want to use the settings gearbox and then turn this into a quiz. So I'm going to push on quizzes. And after I push on quizzes, I'm just going to make this a quiz. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean it has a point value. It just means that you are telling the form to collect information. And none of these matter. You can leave these checks. You can uncheck them. Because, again, there's no point value. There's no right or wrong. If I go out to general, there's some other different things you can do to this form. You can edit after you submit it. They can see the summary charts and text responses, and that's kind of nice for them to see that. As a presentation, you can shuffle around your question order, but none of this really matters. This is just a survey. I'm just going to save this. And when I save this, you can see that I get a little savings area here at the top. Now, again, for the key, I don't need to add a point value to this. If I was creating a multiple choice or wanted a point value, you would use the key, but there are, again, no right or wrong answers. These are very simple to create that way. So I'm going to move this to a folder, my teaching folder, as I said earlier. I'm going to go ahead and push on the teaching folder, little arrow, and then I'm going to organize it. I think I'm just going to just move it here. I'm not going to put it into any additional folders or subfolders. I just want to put it here so I can find it. And now that it has been moved, it gives me a little indication at the top. It says, yes, it is in teaching. And if I go to teaching here, oh, it's not here yet. You should just try to refresh it for a second. Yeah, there it is at the bottom. So, okay, from here, I cannot move this form into my classroom from my drive. I have to actually add any assignment that I want to use from my classroom. So I'm going to go to Classroom. I'm going to select the class that I want to add the assignment to, go to Classwork, and from here, I'm going to create an assignment. As you've created the assignment, you can see, and everybody's fairly familiar with this so far, so I'm just going to go ahead and add from my Google Drive. Now, what's cool about this is if I had just worked on this like I have, it'll often give me the most recent form that I've worked on. You can also just go into the drive. This is really important that you always organize whatever you have in folders, but you all know that by now. I'm going to select on my form example. I don't need to worry about the locked mode for the Chromebooks. I don't need to worry about this grading import. It doesn't really matter either. Again, we are just, collecting information. Form example. Okay, so for point value, there's no point value. Sometimes I like to give a point for completion. I don't need so I will have that in there for my for just my syllabus and my rubric and my point values. It's helpful if some of you want to create a CSV chart at the end for your grades. These are all the students that are going to get it. Again, if a student adds my class later, they will also get this form. This does not exempt it from them. They get this into their classwork just like every other student. And I'm going to put this under a topic. I can create a new topic, but my first topic for this class is getting started. So I'm just going to place this form under getting started. I'm going to go over it really quick, make sure it's all good, and then I'll assign this, and it will go right into getting started. Here's my example. So there's 18 of you that could take this survey if you would like. And that's it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take a look at the survey that I gave you guys a couple days ago. I'm going to erase this by pushing these three dots, and I'm going to push delete. And we're going to take a look at the survey and how to get the information out of the survey that we've already done. Okay, so 17 of you have added this class. I think our staff had 45, but 17 is good. A couple things I want to go over with this form. You're going to select it, and you can see this is a live document. If you want to make changes, or you have a typo, which I often do, you can push on this little edit button, and I can correct any typo, which I did actually make on this, and somebody told me. And it'll correct in real time, and it'll automatically save right up here. You can see that it's been saved to your drive, and this will automatically save to the classroom as well. Do not do this with a doc. If you have a worksheet as a doc and you make changes and you save it, all of the docs that other students have already completed, they will disappear. So here's all the information on our survey. This didn't have a point value, so these are all zeros. But below here, you can see that I have the 4 questions that I asked you guys. How many of you are interested in a multiple choice worksheet? 40% very interested, and then 50% I'll take a look. But it just means that some of you are very aware of how to do this already. Creating surveys, looks like all of you know how to do this, but I do have 30% of you would be interested in taking a look. Let's take a look at attaching videos. This is the same amount of interest. Actually, there's 40% of you who probably have an idea how to link videos, but might need a little bit of a refresher. Maybe you could use a couple tips, so I'll try to include some tips in YouTube videos. So that's how you collect information off a survey. That's pretty much it, you guys. So as you can see, I've got 17 of you, and these are the rest of the people who I've tried to add to the class. As you add the class, you'll be able to take the survey, and it will be compiled in real time. There's no end date for this, so you can keep this going as long as you want. And that is how you create a survey in Google Drive. I'll see you guys in the next video for how to create a multiple choice.